Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I write quick and aesthetic notes on paper as a university student. Here's what you need to write your notes. The links to all of these can be found in the description box below. For each class, I have different color themes to kind of differentiate my notes between the classes. And for all these color themes, I of course use a pencil. And then I also use this black pen for my main notes to make the writing stand out. Another color theme you could do is green if you have a green highlighter and a green pen. You don't necessarily need two different colors of pens for a theme, but I like to do that, and that's honestly personal preference. First, you need some lined paper. I prefer this brand because the sides are reinforced and the shape prevents the pages from tearing, especially since I keep my notes in big binders for each semester and I flip through them when I'm studying for exams. I don't want these edges to tear. Any piece of lined paper works. Also, you could write this in a notebook. Now, one thing you want to make sure to do is have a few papers underneath the paper you'll be writing on because it helps the pen show up better. If you have a grooved table like this, it might also affect how your pen writes on the paper. One recommendation I have is to use the Sharpie brand highlighters. These tend to almost never leak through the page. These only bleed if you press down too hard or hold the tip down on a spot on the paper too long. So first you're going to want to take your accent colors. Here you can see that mine are pink and purple. At the top of the paper, we're going to write the class name, lecture number, and date. I do this at the beginning of class so I can organize my notes and so I know which notes are from when. For example, I can write Chem 130, Lecture 1, August 20th, 2023. Next, you're going to use your highlighter and your accent color to write the title at the top of the page. I do this right at the beginning of class so I can organize my notes better at the end of class, and so when I look at my notes, I can see from a glance what the notes were about. The next thing you're going to do is take one of your accent colors and write the page number at the bottom right hand corner of the page so that if your pages ever get mixed up, you know which order your notes go in. Next, you're going to take your highlighter and the accent color and you're going to highlight the line that the title of your first main section will be, and then you're going to write the title on top of that. Main topics are highlighted to easily find certain sections. Next, use your black pen to write your notes on the main topics. Notes are broken up into bullet points to avoid large paragraphs. Bullet points should be limited to 1 to 2 sentences. You can also use the whiteout in case you make any mistakes with your pen. If you want to elaborate on a specific bullet point that's in black ink, you can use your accent color to make an indented bullet point underneath. And if you want to elaborate further on the bullet point that's in your accent color, you can use a different accent color and make another indented bullet point below. If you don't have a second accent color, that is completely okay. You could use your primary accent color or you can use your black pen as well. Next, if you have any subtopics off of your main topic, you can make them stand out like this by numbering your subtopics and coloring it in. So this is a typical structure of any main topics and subtopics in my notes. If you want a certain word or phrase to stand out in your notes, you can use your accent color to underline them. I use my accent colored highlighter to underline. You can highlight extremely important information in yellow to make that stand out from the rest of the notes. If you have to draw any diagrams or illustrations in your notes, you can draw them in black ink and then box them in the highlighter of your accent color. If you have to make small side notes while you're writing your notes, you could use your accent colors to make them stand out. You can also use arrows drawn in your accent color to relate ideas together. If you have to make a really important side note, you could write it on a sticky note of your accent color to make it stand out more than your other side notes, and then at the end of class, you can tape it on so that it doesn't fall off. If your professor talks really fast and you're worried about making mistakes by writing with pen, you could use your pencil to write something down quick and then fix your notes up after class. Before you write the header for your next main topic section, make sure to leave a few spaces because all the notes are jam-packed for that first main topic above, and you want to be able to differentiate between your main topic sections. When you are writing out the bullets within main topic sections, I would recommend avoiding leaving spaces between bullets because your notes will look neater. It'll make it easier to differentiate between main topic sections. If you want to add things to make your notes more aesthetic, make sure to do that after class because you usually don't have time in class, especially when your professors are speaking really fast. An example of something I do to make my notes more aesthetic is outlining the letters of the title in black ink. Lastly, have fun experimenting with your notes. Play around with different styles until you find what works for you. Like I mentioned earlier, if you write important side notes on sticky notes, make sure to tape them on after class or glue them on if you can so that you don't lose them. Now when I flip my notes around, you can see that there's no leakage through the paper at all in terms of the pens and highlighter. This is why I use these specific supplies, and I will link them down in the description box for you below, but honestly I find it really hard to read my notes when there's a lot of ink bleeding through the paper on both sides. Before I end the video, I just wanted to show you guys some examples of actual notes I took using this note-taking style. These are my notes from my organic chemistry class, and you can see that I used a different color theme for each day: pink, orange, blue, and green. I had some variation in this note-taking style before I actually settled on what actually works for me. These are my intro to sociology notes. These are my intro to African art notes. These are my intro biolab notes, Orgo 2 notes, Orgo 1 lab lecture notes, and these are my biophysics 1 notes. That brings us to the end of today's video. This is the final result. If you like this video, make sure to give me a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Also, leave any questions you have down in the comments below. Thank you for watching!